Hello, welcome to Impact. I'm Michelle Hussain. Today, the blow to HSBC after a US report accuses it of allowing money laundering. Funds flowing into HSBC from Mexico raised investigators' suspicions. As the bank apologizes, we'll have live coverage from the Senate hearing in Washington. Well, let's get more on these controversies surrounding HSBC. Also in Hong Kong is Chris Roebuck, who's an economist and also a professor at the Cass Institute. Chris Roebuck, just how bad is this for HSBC? How much have they been found to have not had the right controls in place?
I think the issue is that without doubt there have been breakdowns to a degree in leadership and in processes. But also let's not forget that some of the things that went wrong weren't with normal customers. They were with people who were deliberately trying to outwit the bank and move dirty money from one place in the world to make it become clean money in another place. And therefore they could have quite easily played on the principles of good customer service to try and hoodwink people in the bank. So that's an additional issue in this particular case, I think.
But surely that's not a defence for HSBC, because however, surely you can have good customer service and also have the right alarm bells ringing when, as appears to be the case here, large amounts of money are coming into the bank over a period of time from Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it boils down to the fact that there should have been supervision at a local level of both the bank and their affiliates, and note the word affiliates, to make sure that the volumes of money that were being transferred were coming from the right places. The problem is that these institutions are absolutely vast. They have trillions and trillions of transactions going through each day. They are in over 100 countries, employing over 250,000 people. So statistically, it's very, very difficult to actually make sure that the entire system is watertight. It's about two things. It's about good process and it's about good leadership. Because no matter how much regulation and compliance you have, unless you have people who are utterly focused on doing the right things, which is good customer service and stopping this sort of thing happening, then it's going to keep happening.
OK, let's just bring in what HSBC have had to say, because they haven't been giving interviews today, but they have issued a statement ahead of the Senate hearing. It says, we acknowledge that in the past we've sometimes failed to meet the standards that regulators and customers expect. We will apologise, acknowledge these mistakes, answer for our actions and give our absolute commitment to fixing what went wrong. Now, were they operating in a way that was different to their competitors, or will there be other banks thinking, you know, this could have been us?
I think all the banks will be saying, you know, it could have been us. I think from the perspective of certain people, if you're going to do something wrong, then the best place to try and do it is where other people are doing the right thing. And therefore, the bigger the bank, the more complex the bank, potentially the easier it might be to be able to get things through the system. The point about HSBC is its size, and because it's bigger than the other banks, it's more complicated. As was said earlier, you know, out in Hong Kong here, even the money that people have in their wallets comes from HSBC. You know, as has been said, you know, Hong Kong banknote issued by HSBC, and it says Hong Kong and Shanghai Banking Corporation on it. So the organisation is absolutely vast. The key issue there is, yes, but for the grace of God go others, and I suspect over time it will be discovered that other banks got caught out as well. But really it's about two things. It's about having top quality risk management, but even more it's about having a good culture. And HSBC actually had a really good culture where you know what is right and you know what is wrong, and you have the ability to make sure that nothing gets through the system that shouldn't. OK, well, we'll hear the top HSBC executives answering for themselves in that Senate hearing within the next half hour or so. Chris Roebuck in Hong Kong, thanks very much for joining us, and we will have live coverage of that Senate hearing once it gets underway, which will be pretty shortly.